Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Well, been a couple of days now. Let's see what I can do. Where's my paper towel? Don't need that right now. I need a phone board. Right. Hey, Kraj. Hey, Mike. What's this? Nice. Random little USB thingamajig with absolutely no indicating whatsoever. Fantastic. Hey, Chuck G. Alright. Well, it's pretty damn late for me here. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sure some of you have already made that assumption, and just being a bit busy with some non-work events. So I'm just trying to get some stuff sorted out here. To be fair, today has actually been quite good. Managed to, I think, fix 3 iPhones. They were all just screen replacements and such, but I'm happy for that. Can't say no to work, at least not good work. And I got cat fur on my nose, so that's making me... Hey, Kevin! Yeah, we all got to start making videos. Got to start making videos, all of us. That way we can just create this ecosystem of videos everywhere. Okay. Fake news, fun stuff. Show me on top. What? Okay. And let's see. And I've been spending money today. The local supermarket has these containers on sale, half price. They're normally like $5, $2.50 now. They're really good containers. They fit, like you can disassemble an iPhone, put it in the bottom there, and have all your parts up top. Or you can just take the white trays out, which is often what I do. Like after I've done with the phone, I tend to just take the tray out, print out the invoice, wrap it up for the phone, and a bit of padding in there, ready for the customer to collect, and I just go put this back on a tray, stack, because they all stack together nicely. So yeah, I picked up 6 today. Or was it 7? No, I got 7 all up. I've already got 1 in use. So that cat hair is really getting me. Oh, gee whiz. Well, according to my... Let me show you. According to my screen, CryJ came in first. Let's see. Desktop Finder. There we go. There, that's the top. So, that's the way it goes. Alright. Oh, yeah, and since the topic of the video also includes iPhone haul, I put out a request on the local community group that I was after a smashed up, destroyed, damaged iPhone 6 Plus. But no one's come forward with one of those yet, and my nose has gone all itchy yet again. Good God. Cat hair, I tell you. One cat in particular. That's okay. I'll get used to it again. And I ended up with a iPhone 6, and it's got a bit of chassis damage and all that, but it's in pretty good condition. There's no water damage in it. It just needs to be reset. I had to put a new screen on it. It's like I expect the person will reset it. I know them quite well. The chassis is pretty badly beaten up. Yeah, you can see the bit of bending going on there. Hey, is this camera on? Sorry, I'm just checking it. Focus, you person. There we go. There, you can see the edge damage going on there. Anyway, so that's good. Always handy to have more functional iPhone 6s. And then someone said to me, I don't have a 6S Plus, 6 Plus, but I do have a 6S Plus, and the best bit about it all is that it's rose gold. I mean, this is just brilliant. But Downside is this is being flushed, but in spite of it being flushed, it does work. It comes up, it's already been cleared, no iCloud lock on it or anything like that, so I'm not going to have to use my Dremel tonight. Thank you very much, Jessa. I'm not sure what size this one is, haven't gotten into that point. And the screen's a bit cracked, but that's okay. So first I've got to fix up this Acer laptop, and then I'm going to pull this fellow apart and see what's going on inside. Hopefully it didn't get much water damage at all. I really should put my dehydrator on inside here, because that should stop my error 2627s. For any of you wondering what I'm going on about, if you look at Jess's YouTube channel, you will see my name plastered up on there. I was not the one that submitted or suggested the dehydrator, I just happened to make a parting comment, and it's now being immortalized. Let's see, I better put the focus back on fixed, because otherwise that sucker's going to drift everywhere. Alright, man. Lemon cat hair. Got my tray. Let's see. Oh yeah, and the iPhone 6S Plus cost me 50 Australian dollars. Oh, this is so itchy, I've got to get a hay fever tablet or something. Which is about, say, 40 US American. So I consider that a pretty good haul. I've got another 2 or 3 phones coming in over the next couple of days. One of them will be a 5C. And hopefully out of all of them I will actually get a iPhone 6 Plus, which is what I'm originally after. I also bought myself some more Sharpies today, but they're on the other workbench. They're for the iPhone repairs. iPhone jerky. What? Oh, right, I get it. Yep. Dehydrated iPhone jerky. See, now I call that stuff biltong, which is South African term. They are slightly different in their process, but pretty much the same end result. Dehydrated food. Okay. This will be fun. The problem we have with this particular laptop is that it's overheating, and it's a... No, Chuckji, I'm not tossing this in the trash. These are great little machines. Very handy. They were all the rage for a while there. I've got 2 or 3 myself, just in the back room. There we go. This one was actually a pretty good one. It had access to everything, plenty of room, all that sort of thing. No. And it's my father's, so I best do a good job on it. Hey Amy. It's been a long time since I've actually... Oh, that one's locked in. It's been a long time since I've pulled apart one of these, so you'll have to forgive me if wow. I need a different screwdriver, because that one is not quite biting in and I'm just rounding it out. Seriously? That's someone with great strength hands has tightened these up. You're not going to give me magnetics now? Come on. What have we got here? Cry J, had a phone call. Mine showed me there. Paul's decision is final. Aha. Sorry, folks. Yeah, I mean, you can take it from your own perspective. And that's personally, I think that's equally applicable. It's all relative to the observer. Einstein will be proud. So I'm either going to end up with a buttload of lint in here, or just a dead fan. Given its age, either are potentially applicable. Yeah, it's sad that people refer to them as those old Aces because they were pretty new and flashy when I was getting involved with them. I remember telling one of the local stockist stores or whatever, I said, you're really going to want to get a jump on this because this is going to be a bit of a craze. It's going to, people are going to want a lot of these. And sure enough, a lot of them were wanted. And sure enough, that person didn't get on the jump, and so they didn't make the squillions of dollars. I need my spudger. I have made another order for a spudger, the ones that I want, the metal stainless steel ones. So here's hoping that they actually arrive. I better go get my metal one. Hello, Firephone. Am I cold? Not overly cold. It's only it's probably about 16, 17 degrees centigrade outside, so it's not really cold. I'm just taking the rare opportunity to have a chance to wear something other than other than the usual just shirt and nothing else. Believe me, we don't get much of a winter here at all. We wouldn't even call it a winter. Hell, most countries don't even have a summer this cold. I mean, a summer this warm. What's going on here? Trying to decide with that. Oh, don't you dare do that. Amy, I actually have two. Shoot. Can't decide whether I'm going to poke my eye out or get this keyboard out. Could be one or the other. The little tabs that normally slide back into the chassis, I think they're all just a bit dead. They're not slipping back as they should. Come on. Come on now. You can do it. You can do it. You can come out. Out. Seriously? Is this one how you want to play it? What's with the dehydrator? Basically, the whole dehydrator thing is that Jessa received a phone which was highly likely to be an error 2627, and the person who sent it made particular note of the fact that they had done certain things, and one of those things is they had dehydrated it using a dehydrator. And then they went along and ultrasonicked it, which is kind of amusing because it's like, well, wouldn't you just ultrasonic it first and then dehydrate it? Anyway, so yeah, that's what it's all about. So we were thinking, oh well, it's going to be a classic Era 26, 27, and it's never going to work again. At least not with the data. And lo and behold, spoiler alert, so yeah, lo and behold, it did work. But of course, that could have been Mark's magic touch, because he, when it was booting up or loading up, was it restoring? Sorry, it was reloading. Yeah, he touched it in a special way, and he must have stopped it from deciding to go to Era 26, Era 27. Mostly because the battery was corroded. And it's something that seems to be happening. I don't know whether because we're more aware of it or what, but it just seems to be popping up all over the place now. I'd say it's more just an awareness thing. Previously we'd just sort of think, this thing's stuck in a boot loop. Read its last rites. Hi 217. I see you here. Man, these screws are all mixed in sizes. I hate that. Hello there, Giuseppe. Oh my goodness. My brain told me how that should be pronounced, and then my mouth did not follow through with that act. From Sicily, Italy. Yeah, I'm just going to pull the camera over a bit. I didn't realise you guys are so far out of frame. Come on, camera. There you go. There you go. Just going to make sure I'm not teetering off the edge there. Yeah, Mark's Midas touch. Yeah. It's funny because it was all done as a joke and then it actually happened. People now pay extra for Mark to touch their phones. Oh, crikey. There's the only trouble I hate with sometimes older systems. The FPC pull tabs just sort of give up and said, nah, we're not holding on anymore. So long, sucker. And they just rip clean off. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah. These guys are seriously stuck in here. That's annoying. I sent off the circuit boards for my USB discharge normalizer thing, just the little one. And I'm still working on some minor details with the battery examination, test, charge, discharge unit. Most of the issues are pertaining to the serial port interface with regards to the HC05 Bluetooth modules, because there is a bit of a lack of information between the prefabricated modules, the ones that come with like a 4 or 6 pin header, and the bare module themselves. There's a bunch of pins there that they like to use, they like to configure the... God damn, this thing's going to poke me in the flippin' eye. Not in the eye. I need my eyes. What is your secret? Oh, well. Do you have Mendian laptops in Australia? Not that I'm aware of. I've never heard of them. So I guess that's a no. I do not like using the metal spudger along these edges here, because if you botch up, and you crimp out you leave a permanent mark on the bezel. And not everybody, but some people do notice that when they get their laptops back, and they subsequently rage. Can't blame them. I had one the other week, and the whole sort of this section here was just completely chewed out with something. It's like they took one of those jeweler's screwdrivers and just went to town with it. Lewis lives in a Disney on Star Mountain. What? Damn these emojis, I can't decipher them. Aha. Secret revealed. Mike, it was a different sort of latch system they've got here. They require, like normally, they will only require about 3/4 of a mil, maybe 1 mil. This one's wanting 1.5 mil or so. It wasn't a screw. It was just a extra wide catch. And it's different on this side too. Bastards. Yeah, there we go. But I was seriously thinking the same as you. I was thinking there's got to be another screw here, because it shouldn't be this hard. But hey, it's on stream, it's got to be hard, because that's just the way it is. Alright, what have we got? Wow, fancy. I actually used a circuit board to bridge across from one side to the other rather than a FPC. Mansion on Magic Mountain. Ah, right. Thank you very much for the translation. And here we go. More of this bloody masking tape. Really? Do they like have shortage of Captain tape in this era? I mean, they've got some Captain tape on there, but they do seem to have a preference for this masking tape. Oh well. God damn it. I'm going to pull the whole thing out just to get to the fan. That is one thing I have found with small laptops, is it still is no small effort to get them open and pulled apart. It's almost like the designers are like, we will not be deprived of our difficulty of opening. Okay. Like I said plenty of times, people complain about Apple equipment, MacBooks and iPhones and all that, but damn it, compared to this stuff, they're a breeze. Don't poke yourself in the eye. Come on. Yep, knew you were going to come off. There we go. I mean, fancy that. That's dedicated circuit board just for bridging signals across. That's getting some serious stuff there. What are you? Cute. You're Wi-Fi. That is actually quite cute. And now you're disconnected. What else? What else? Kidding me. Well, that's got to come out. Is Acer fanless? Nah, this one's got a fan. I know in the models afterwards they generally stopped using fans. I think they learned their lesson. And they're no longer a fan of fans. Ah, there we go. But how cute is that? Look at that. That's just... it's almost the size of a nuck. It's a little bit bigger than a nuck. Almost. Speaking of which, I should have my nuck arrive tomorrow. All going well. Well, it's a crack up. There's no radiator as such on this. All it's doing is it's just blowing air out of there from underneath across this flat plate, and that's it. There's no heat pipe or anything. Neat. Hey Chris, this is an Intel Atom. Oh. It's let's see if I can see if this runs sort of okay. I was trying to work out whether I've got a fan problem or a paste problem, because really there isn't any other options. Okay. Where'd that on? Is that on-off switch integrated into? Aha, beautiful. I've got an on-off switch straight on the board. Lovely. Now, can I get this power socket out? Lo and behold, this power input. What do you do? Why does everything have to be so difficult? Come on. What are you stuck with? Glue or something? Two-sided tape, of course. What more could I expect? Oh, even these little Atom books have the sense to use two pairs of wires for the power. Unlike that Metabox that I did, that Clevo machine, which had exactly half of that. It was about the same gauge too. And it's a gaming machine? Yeah, maybe for Pac-Man in the 1970s. Actually, that's not fair. Pac-Man in the 1970s probably required a good 500 to 1 kilowatt of power to run. Yeah. Alright, I'm getting off on my own jokes here. That's not good, not good. It's getting late. And I haven't even pulled apart the rose gold phone yet. It's a Pi on steroids. Yeah, the funny thing is a Pi probably might just outpace this if you have a Pi 3. I need an Acer power brick, so I'll go grab that. Better put a new chair on my list of things I need to get. This thing keeps falling down on me. That's okay. Okay, power connected. Power on. Fan spinning fine. Or was it? Come on. Spin, spin, spin. Maybe I should put a Linux boot USB on it. If I can find where I put it. The orange pie is an interesting one. I do, and the banana pie as well. I do have a Pi 3 as a matter of fact. It's a web server, my photography website. Amy, I read that statement in the Wix voice. Do you need a dehydrator? Why not do it yourself? Yeah, sad. So I can't emulate voices like Lewis Rossman can. That guy's got an uncanny talent for doing that. maybe you can get Lewis to send his chair to you. Yeah, he's going to send me Jason's chair. What's the... Yep. Just people harassing me for some strange events of the day. Well, that fan isn't firing up because it doesn't really have anything to fire up for. Really, where the hell is this USB stick of mine? Ah, found it. Oh, there goes the fan, just as yeah, good on you, mate. Kraja, I'm thinking of actually using a Pi 2 for my web server, because I've only got static pages on there for the most part. There's a little bit of jQuery on it, but that's client side anyway. And other than that, there's nothing. I mean, currently the virtual server I'm hiring is 256 megabytes and 10 gigabyte space. That's it. So I'm pretty sure Pi can handle that. Castle Computers, I've just installed a machine with Ubuntu and DD Rescue GUI now. Oh, GUI? Oh, they've got a GUI? Oh, okay. Trying to get an image off a very poor... Oh, okay. What, have you got DD Rescue 122 or better? Version 122 or better? I don't get what's going on here. This is staying pretty damn cool. If there's a fault with the voltage or something, then I'm starting to think maybe it's a... If it is, maybe it's a faulty sensor. Oh good, yeah, I'll try a Pi 2 and I'll just put a... Hell, I could put a 16 gigabytes SD card in there. That's kind of sad, it's so easy now. I've got a VGA port. Can I have the VGA? This is sort of amusing, booting up this thing. What else do I need? I need a keyboard. I had a bit of a rage down at the shop today when I was buying the containers that you saw me get there before, because these keyboards, they normally sell for $39.95 or something like that down there, and I haven't seen them come on special for anything lower than maybe $30. So I ordered a bunch of these from my supplier down south, and they've been... something's going on, they're fiddling and farting around. They're like $24 each, so I was willing to wait for the time. Then I go to the shop tonight, and guess what do I see in the aisles for $24 at the local shop? These, at the supermarket. I was like, what? I used up my freight expense for that? So maybe it's something that Logitech actually put out on special, intentionally, to make me rage, clearly. I've got to switch screens here. Just as long as you're not trying to run a server that requires a database, it shouldn't crash due to the memory cap. Okay. There may be a database on there somewhere, but nothing intense, I gotta tell you that. You on? You're on. Well, what about Castle Computers version 171? You will want to... I'd suggest Castle, if you can, get 122 RC3 or something more recent than that, and make sure you've got the GNU DD Rescue as opposed to... There's another DD Rescue out there, and it's not the GNU one. It doesn't seem to be as developed as much, and its features are all very different. So there's a link in the description below that should take you to DD Rescue properly. So this thing's running my boot up Ubuntu quite alright. So I'll just show you. Maybe. Yeah. You can barely see. Anyway, it's running. and the fan's not going. Let's see what the sensors have to say. And I'm showing 38 degrees. 39. And it's not running yet. Let's run Firefox. That always makes these machines scream. Well, I mean, it's slow, that's for sure. Here it comes. Yeah, I'm still only at... But that's... I don't get it. Nothing's really overheating. Well, we'll let that run for a bit and see what happens. Maybe it's a case of the fan is intermittent. Who knows? Oh well. It's new 120. Oh, it's the GUI that's 171. Right. Okay. I apologise, Castle. I've never used the GUI myself. The only GUI I use for DD Rescue is one called DD Rescue View, which basically shows you what's going on with the log file, so you can just watch it over time. What have we done? For the first pass or the initial test of DD Rescue, I'll type in what I recommend with the right mouse. Okay, here we go. Castle computers. DD Rescue V F minus O minus P8. Okay, this is assuming that you're trying to create a clone image onto an existing drive with plenty of space. Okay, that's what I use. That's a fairly typical initial starting point. If you find that DD Rescue is getting bogged down or anything, it just doesn't seem to grab the data you want or anything like that, feel free to send me a message on the YouTube messages or whatever, and I can give you a bit of a hand there. So what are you doing? You're not heating up. You're definitely not overheating. Or maybe you are. Yeah, you just feel normal. Well, I could always just buy another fan. I mean, given its age, it would not surprise me if the fan was starting to die in its bearings. And given my poor hearing, it could have been squealing and I didn't even hear it. So, who knows? I guess I'll order a replacement fan and put it in there and consider it. And I'll do the, what do you call it? The paste as well. Rough. Okay. At least we know it's not a complicated job. Ah, damn cat hair. Don't get me wrong, I love my cats. But yeah, sometimes that cat hair can get you on the nose. Usually when you least want it to. Alright. That is so awesome. It all just fits in there. Not quite as compact as a Pi, but then it does come with full screen and keyboard. And I will stick this entire bunch of assemblies into one of the other containers I purchased today. I bought another bunch of the large ones that I have for holding laptops. They're normally $15 a piece, and again half price, so I'm getting $7.50, which is a pretty damn good price. Okay. You can get back under there. There. Okay. We're just going to pretend that we've put this stuff away properly. And we get on to the iPhone. Oops. Mike, you still thinking of doing DD Rescue overview video? Could you see the fan running in the case? Mike, no, I didn't. Oh, can you? I don't think you can from the inside, no. It's got slots in there, but they're overlap, so you can't really see directly in. I suppose I could listen for it. That's okay, I'm just going to change it anyway. Can you use sewing machine for the bearings? You sort of can, but it doesn't really last for very long. Part of the problem is that it tends to leak back out, and the other part of the problem is that it tends to gum up, collects all sorts of junk that's around it, and so it ends up back in the workshop a little while later. I need a magnetic pad. Be right back. Seven hours to go on the recovery. Alright, well, good luck with that. But like I said, if you run into any dramas, just send me a message. DD Rescue is something I deal with pretty much every day. Oh, you little SOB. Someone forgot their pentalobe. Drilled holes in the bottom of the case before the consent of the owner. Well, yeah, I mean, that does work. But I've got no problem doing this. Like I said, it's for my own father, so getting a hold of one of those fans, they're like $5 a piece. It's the easiest long-term solution, and it should see it live out the rest of the laptop's life. Okay, just a word of warning. This is actually the first ever iPhone 6s Plus that I've opened up, and this is precisely the reason why I have purchased this from the person, because I didn't want to have to do this on a legitimate customer's phone and completely feck it up, not knowing what I was doing. Now I'm going to make the assumption this is basically akin to the 6S itself, same sort of concept, and also has the same sort of idea where it's subtly different, and there goes the screen. There's a bit of fracturing there that I couldn't really help. It was just leading on from the previous damage. Now thanks. Yeah, fuck that. Oh, sorry. Swearing on the YouTube. Please don't ban me. Yeah, that sucker's got a... This is already cracked, by the way, and so I think it's cracking just as a follow-up of what was already there. Alright. God damn, smells bad. Um, yeah, this is a toilet flush. Whew. But funnily enough, it's not a toilet flush that it smells of. It's just the perfumes and everything like that. And it's had a replacement screen on it, I see, which is why it probably cracks so damn bloody easy. And if you ask me, that looks... the watermarkers aren't even off in it. This is basically a perfect phone, other than the fact that it smells all pretty and it's got a damaged screen. There we go. So it's immaculate inside. Neat. I got that for $50. 35-40 for you Merkins. Well, I suppose I shouldn't push my luck. I'll just close this sucker up. Order a replacement screen. Wow. I better not make too much noise about that, or else the person's going to come back and say, I heard that you actually opened up my water damaged phone and it was perfect inside. I want my phone back. So, hell no. I need a score like that once in a while. There we go, perfect phone, $50. Ooh. Okay, Greg. Putting out fires at a client with respect to email issues. Ooh, what sort of email issues? Fire phone. Did you ever use Hiren's Boot? I know of Hiren's Boot, but I've never used it. G'day, Alan. Hey, Joshua. Alrighty. I see no one's raging. How could that bastard be so lucky to get a rose gold iPhone 6s Plus, $50, and it's perfect? The bastard. Yeah. Like I said, we need wins like that occasionally. I'm actually impressed because normally when you get a screen replacement phone, like one that has been replaced before, and these guys are just... This is sometime in 2016 it was done. Actually, I see a little tiny spot of rust there. Most of the time when they do these screen replacements, they completely jack up the phones at the same time, I've found. But this one's nice. It's clean. There's no fingerprints anywhere, which is usually my first sign. Even the battery looks good. Now, if there was indications of water anywhere in here, I would be pulling that battery, but there's nothing. So wow. Well, that's boring for you guys. Exciting for me. Haha. Hope it works out with the new screen. Yeah, I mean, it actually works with this screen, Mike. Well, at least it did until I probably screwed it up more. It's the only thing, like, I used to heat up the whole thing, and the screen has some nice little wavy effects on it, like that. So it contracted the water by the looks of it. What was I going to say? Yeah, I used to fiddle and fart a lot with gently trying to take these off, and then Chris just said to me, why? He said, just get the spudger and slice up that adhesive foam and it'll come off. And to be fair, or at least with the 6s, the 6S, not the 6 Plus, 6S Plus, I've never had any dramas at all with doing that method. Although it might be different if it was a brand new one or something, I don't know. Passcodes, and it's got 1% of battery left. I probably should charge that up. Yes, Craig, four-leaf clover is definitely an appropriate term. was a box I remoted into last night to do some work. They were getting sick of seeing, maybe they were getting seeing sending a username to not mail responded internal server error. Joy. Greg, it's a iPhone 6s Plus. I don't know how much RAM it's got in it though. Is there any way I can find out? Oops. Cancel. The home button even works. Shock horror. No Touch ID issues. Join. I couldn't care less if you guys know my Wi-Fi password. I have two Wi-Fi setups in this house. I have my own actual real one that I'm streaming off and whatnot, and then I have the Wi-Fi that I use for all consumer equipment that's coming in here. SIM required. Go screw yourself. Alright, fair enough. Well, I know when to back out. We'll just turn this off, put it on charge, order a replacement screen, and consider myself extraordinarily lucky there. That was a bit of a present for me. There you are, Chris. I actually had a present. Backlight filter got too warm. Backlight diffuse. Oh, okay. So, Chris, if I change the screen on this, that'll fix it. And now I'm asking you. I wasn't sure. It didn't quite look like a water damage pattern that I'd normally have seen. And I see my focus is on auto again. There we go. Need a hazmat suit. Yeah, I'll probably douse that in isopropylene later. About to dive into a new arrival. Customer's home is bug bombed. Oh, laptop now dead as they left it in home plugged in. So they're claiming it. So you think Chuck just the vapors from the pesticide sort of got into it, probably got sucked in, and I'd imagine they're fairly caustic. Yeah, Greg, most of the time my stuff here is like just about to hit the bin. So yeah, this is definitely perhaps the highlight of the year so far. The Lenovo E550 was another good pickup. Although thinking I may have to reappropriate that to a different sort of job because I just can't get the encoding rate how I want. The i5 5200 isn't quite powerful enough. Yet I can put something like a GT 710 into my G3420 Pentium box, and I'll probably be able to encode more than fast enough. So I may have to, when the budget's improved and after I've got the microscope and whatnot, I may have to purchase a dedicated desktop box for encoding. You can replace the backlight diffuser. It's a little tricky. Yeah, Chris, I'll probably just still end up getting a new screen because that one is cracked up and it's pretty janky on the outside. But I may experiment with that later when I get more of those. I can peel off I'm assuming I can peel off from an old one if I wanted to experiment. Did you repair audio on the E550? Yeah, I did fine. It just needed a bit of a scrub up, and it was okay. There is a bit of corrosion still, or remnants of corrosion still on the FPC lockdown connector, but it's perfectly fine on the inside where the contacts actually make contact with the cable that comes in. Alright, that should actually go back into the container, and hopefully tomorrow this one here will get unlocked. Like I said, I'm not anticipating any troubles at all with getting this one unlocked. I mean, for a normal general customer that sort of says they're going to do it, I would be wary. But from that particular person, I've got no worries at all. Yeah, dear. And an update on the microscope. Unfortunately, I found out that I will not be getting that money this month. It seems what happens with YouTube income in terms of donations and things like that. Uh, Whatever comes in, so like say it's June now. So whatever was acquired in May or prior uh, gets processed around about the 10th to the 14th of June. So, and then that gets forwarded to your AdSense account, which then finally pays out at the end of this month. So essentially, you have a worst case scenario if someone makes a donation on the first of a month, they won't actually receive it in their account until about 8 weeks later. So it's a little bit insane, but especially in this day and age with instant payments everywhere, I suspect they're enjoying the interest they gather. Yeah, so that's why there's no microscope plans underway right now. On the other hand, it may still happen before that money arrives here because things are picking up around here, or at least for the moment. And after I did those RMAs, I've got a fairly good stock level of new screens. Ironically, I don't have an iPhone 6s Plus, but that's okay. Uh, so I'm able to capitalize sort of retrospectively on the RMAs now as I do the jobs. Let's see, how long is warranty time? The electronics goods in Australia, anything from 3 months to whatever the um, manufacturer decides. We don't have the mandatory minimum warranty requirements like in the UK. Let's see, Chris Long. I've not used this card, but I understand they're very nice. Now I've got to have a look at that. What are we looking at? Ah, 1060. Phew, they're cheap now. That's seriously? That is cheap. Greg M, it certainly does seem like they're playing with other people's money. I mean, big surprise there, big surprise. I mean, it's already bad enough that YouTube takes a fairly notable cut from the contributions, and then of course they get the interest built up on that. On the other hand, I suppose you could sort of say, well, um, that's just the cost of participating on YouTube. So, hey, Bobby, didn't see you before. If you hadn't, what the hell? What's this, Mr. Crapsalot? Yeah, I think Mr. Crapsalot can go and fuck himself. Alright. Google, we need your money. Yeah. Alright, that's it. 2:45. I probably should be heading to bed. I don't have any real jobs scheduled for tomorrow at this point, but that is half the fun of the game. It's not unusual for me to have quite a few turn ups starting from 11 o'clock in the morning. I do have one assembly coming in, and that's the Intel NUC. That's also a transfer from an existing machine. What I'm going to be trying doing is taking their entire hard drive, cramming it into a 240 gig solid state. It's a Windows 7, so I'm going to have to preload that with the USB 3 drivers so that when it boots inside the NUC, I can actually still access it through the keyboard and mouse. Because unless you've got the USB 3 drivers loaded, you can't get it to them. A lot of people run into that problem with the Intel NUCs. They put Windows 7 on, which will work, but when you initially boot, you can't get access to anything. Keyboard won't work, nothing. Oh, that Jove, that was chasing after TCRS. Yeah, that'd be funny if it was. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for everyone popping in. Sorry it wasn't a very comprehensive one, but yeah, it is late, and so I'll get the new fan for the Acer, get a new screen for that iPhone. I can't believe that score. That was really, really a good score. I will keep that one for myself to the point where I may make that a personal phone, although it is rose gold. So yeah, that could be a bit harsh to. People are going to look at me funny if I walk around with that thing. So, alright. Thank you. I'll see you later. Where's my mouse? Oh, my mouse stopped streaming.